it gets digital. You're not using tape anymore.
Exactly. So, how'd you get into stand-up comedy?
Basically, bad life choices. I was writing for a while, and it was cool. I was good at it, but nobody would really pay me enough to make a living at it. I figured out comedy's half writing anyway, so it took me several months to get over stage fright once I made the decision. But once I did, it was neat, because you could write something and then instead of sending it off and getting rejected, you could get rejected immediately, and that was a lot more satisfying for some fucked up reason, probably because I drink.
So what's the payoff for doing comedy? Why do you do it?
I don't know, not to get too deep, but probably you have something you want to get out of you, and it just feels, it's like getting a splinter out, basically. It's for me anyway, it's a lot. Fuck you too. But it's a lot less painful than not doing it. That's the way I came up with it. It wasn't easy, especially in the beginning, but it was a lot worse staying home and not trying. So, and then all of a sudden you wake up and it's been a couple of years and you're like, okay, here I am.
Who would you say your influences are besides psilocybin?
I don't know, mushrooms are a big deal. The comics I like. I think we're in a good time, because there's fucking incredible comics out right now, and you're allowed to do what you want to do, which makes these guys stellar. The chicks here are great. Love Doug Stanhope. I think he's brilliant. Dave Attell, Brian Regan, and there's several others that I'm not remembering, but those three guys are probably at the tops right now. Oh, Bill Burr. Love Bill Burr. He doesn't have the kind of act that I can do, because he's just on another weird level, real clean cut, and not a drunk and everything, but he's brilliant, and the way he can pull off anger and still make it funny, really impressive. Bill Burr's pretty amazing.
So what are your thoughts on the DC comedy scene and the national?
Nationally, it's such a big, fragmented country anymore. But DC is one of the hot spots. DC is great. We have great comics up there. Seton Smith, Hampton Yount, Mike Foodie. There's a lot of guys that nobody's heard of, but they definitely should, because these guys are professional level comics still struggling. But DC as a comedy town is kind of they're hard to impress, and I think New York's got the same thing going. Out west, definitely, you know, if you're in LA and every other guy's a comic, it's the same. But there are little nexuses that you can branch out from, and that's, I like where I live, because an hour's drive I can be in Richmond, and who knew? Like, I never had done Richmond before, and it's a great town. The people are ready and receptive and not hostile. Virginia, D.C. is an amazing comedy area, and we got so many great guys that come out, Big Chappelle, all those dudes. So if you're not making it in D.C., it's probably you just need to write more. It's a good town.
That seems to be one of the conventional wisdoms. It seems to be one of the conventional wisdoms is to stay in a relatively small market and marinate rather than try to break in to New York or LA right off the top of the bat.
Absolutely, yeah, you'll know when you're when you're not getting the payback you need from it. Maybe you've gone too far where you live, branch out. But as a place to start, this whole I'd say really, damn, from Atlanta up to DC is a great, you know, it's all driving distance, which is important. It's a lot of gas money. But the idea that so close you can go so many good towns. Again, as long as there's people drinking, you should be able to pull it off. It's not that big a deal.
So do you have any, you do the open mic, you're the host for the open mic at the Palace of Wonder.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for aspiring comedians?
Yeah, write some shit down. If a guy's any good, he makes it look easy. I haven't figured that part out yet, but It's a real hassle if you're running a show. Putting up people that just think, hey, I just need a couple beers in me, I'll get up and talk about my mom. It doesn't quite work that way. And your mom's probably hilarious, but you got to think some shit out beforehand. Think about it. You're going to be up there for 10 minutes. You might as well put an hour into it and write some shit down. Rehearse it so when somebody screams something at you, you don't forget. But, yeah, the only thing, I mean, you know, I'm certainly in no position to give advice, but I'd say write your ass off. Write 10 times more than you'll ever use, and stay away from coke. That's pretty much it.
Thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm.